Hello everyone and welcome to an exciting journey into the Hertz Electrical Symphony. Today, we are diving deep into the fascinating world of the electrocardiogram, or ECG. This incredible diagnostic tool allows us to listen to the electrical whispers of your heart. We'll start with the basics, understanding what ECG is and why it's so important. Then, we'll gradually build our knowledge, exploring the intricacies of Hertz electrical activity, interpreting complex patterns, and even touching upon the engineering marvels behind this technology. Get ready to unlock the secrets of your heartbeat across 4 levels of understanding. Let's begin our exploration with the fundamentals of ECG. What is it, why is it used, and how does it work at the most basic level? The electrocardiogram, or ECG, is essentially a picture of your heart's electrical story. Imagine your heart as a tiny electrical generator. Every beat it makes involves electrical signals. The ECG machine captures these tiny signals and turns them into a graph of wavy lines. This graph tells us about the electrical activity of your heart over time, showing how it depolarizes, or contracts, and repolarizes, or relaxes. It's a fundamental tool for understanding heart health. So, why do doctors use ECG? It's a quick, painless, and non-invasive way to check for various heart conditions. It can reveal if your heart is beating too fast, too slow, or irregularly. It also helps detect if your heart muscle has been damaged, for instance, during a heart attack. To perform an ECG, small stickers, called electrodes, are placed on your chest, arms, and legs. These electrodes pick up the electrical signals, which are then amplified and displayed or printed by the ECG machine. The basic waves you see, like the P wave, QRS complex, and T wave, represent specific electrical events, the P wave for atrial contraction, QRS for ventricular contraction, and T wave for ventricular relaxation. Now, let's test your understanding of these basic concepts. Take a moment to answer these 3 practice questions. What does ECG stand for? Which part of the Hertz electrical activity does the P wave represent? And is an ECG a painful procedure? Think about what we just discussed. Great job with the basics. Now, let's move a step further and explore the ECG in more detail, understanding the components and their deeper meaning. To truly understand an ECG, we first need to appreciate the heart's internal electrical system. Your heart has its own natural pacemaker, the sun node, which generates electrical impulses. These impulses spread through the atria, causing them to contract. This gives us the P wave on the ECG. The signal then pauses briefly at the AV node before racing down through the bundle of His and Purkinje fibers, causing the ventricles to contract. This powerful ventricular contraction is represented by the prominent QRS complex. Finally, as the ventricles relax and recharge, we see the T wave. Each part of this sequence is precisely timed and crucial for efficient blood pumping. A standard ECG machine typically uses 12 different views of the heart, known as leads, to capture a comprehensive picture. Beyond the P, QRS, and T waves, an ECG also shows important intervals and segments. For example, the PR interval measures the time it takes for the electrical signal to travel from the atria to the ventricles. The SEND segment is the flat line between the QRS complex and the T wave. Any elevation or depression in this segment can be a critical sign of a heart attack or ischemia. The QT interval measures the total time for ventricular depolarization and repolarization. Understanding these components is key to interpreting an ECG. The principle behind recording these signals is quite elegant. Electrodes placed on your skin act like tiny antennas, detecting the minuscule voltage changes created by your heart's electrical activity. These signals are then sent to the ECG machine, which amplifies them thousands of times and filters out unwanted noise, presenting them as the recognizable wavy lines on paper or a screen. From a clinical perspective, ECG is an invaluable tool. It helps diagnose conditions like arrhythmias, which are irregular heartbeats, or identify if parts of the heart muscle are not getting enough blood, a condition called ischemia, or even if a heart attack has occurred. It can also hint at electrolyte imbalances affecting heart function. Alright, time to apply your knowledge at the medium level. Here are 5 questions for you. What electrical event does the QRS complex signify? Which part of the ECG is critical for detecting myocardial ischemia? What is the SA node's role? Explain depolarization versus repolarization, and finally, what might a prolonged PR interval suggest? Excellent work! Now, let's elevate our understanding even further. We'll delve into the analytical aspects of ECG and connect it with deeper physiological theories. The reason the QRS complex is typically the largest wave on an ECG is directly related to the amount of muscle mass involved. The ventricles have significantly more muscle than the atria, so their depolarization generates a much larger electrical signal. The T wave, representing ventricular repolarization, is usually broader and less sharp than the QRS because repolarization is a slower, more asynchronous process compared to the rapid, synchronized depolarization. A standard ECG employs 12 leads, each offering a distinct electrical perspective of the heart. This multi-angle view is crucial for precisely localizing any abnormalities, much like using multiple cameras to get a full view of an event. Let's analyze the intervals and segments more closely. The PR interval, normally between 0.12 and 0.20 seconds, if prolonged, can indicate an AV block, meaning there's a delay in the electrical signal passing from the atria to the ventricles. Conversely, a short PR interval might suggest an abnormal electrical pathway. The scent segment is critically important. Scent elevation, where the segment rises above the baseline, is a classic sign of a myocardial infarction or heart attack. Scent depression, on the other hand, often points to myocardial ischemia, where the heart muscle isn't getting enough oxygen. The QT interval, which represents the total time for ventricular depolarization and repolarization, is often corrected for heart rate, known as QTC. A prolonged QTC can increase the risk of dangerous arrhythmias. ECG also helps us identify various pathological patterns. Tachycardia refers to a heart rate over 100 beats per minute, while bradycardia is below 60. In atrial fibrillation, the atria beat chaotically, resulting in an irregular rhythm and absent P waves. Myocardial infarction shows specific changes like scent elevation or depression, and the development of pathological Q waves, which indicate dead heart tissue. Bundle branch blocks, where the electrical signal is interrupted in one of the ventricular pathways, lead to a widened QRS complex with characteristic shapes. Understanding these patterns allows for accurate diagnosis. Ultimately, the direction and shape of ECG waves are determined by the direction of electrical current flow relative to the recording electrode, a principle known as vectorial analysis, which is fundamental to complex ECG interpretation. Now, let's challenge your analytical skills with these 7 hard-level questions. Describe why the QRS is the largest wave. Differentiate scent elevation and depression. How many leads are in a standard ECG and why? What does a prolonged PR interval signify? What ECG features indicate atrial fibrillation? What might a QRS duration of 0.14 seconds suggest? And finally, why is the QT interval corrected for heart rate? Take your time to think through these complex concepts. You've tackled some challenging concepts. Now, prepare to dive into the deepest levels of ECG understanding, exploring its history, advanced electrophysiology, and competitive insights. The story of ECG begins with Willem Einthoven, who in 1903 revolutionized medicine by inventing the string galvanometer. This groundbreaking device was sensitive enough to detect the Hertz-minute electrical currents, earning him a Nobel Prize. Einthoven's genius also laid the groundwork for modern ECG lead placement with his Einthoven's triangle, which defines the relationship between the standard bipolar limb leads. On a cellular level, ECG waves are a summation of individual cardiac action potentials. The P wave comes from atrial cell depolarization, and the QRS complex from ventricular cell depolarization. The T wave represents ventricular repolarization, which, interestingly, spreads from the epicardium to the endocardium, often causing the T wave to be in the same direction as the QRS in most leads. Advanced ECG interpretation often involves vectorial analysis, where the Hertz electrical activity is viewed as a continuously changing vector. This helps determine the mean electrical axis of the heart, particularly for the QRS complex. Deviations from the normal QRS axis, such as left or right axis deviation, can be crucial indicators of conditions like ventricular hypertrophy or myocardial infarction. For instance, left axis deviation frequently accompanies left ventricular hypertrophy. Furthermore, complex conditions like bundle branch blocks, where conduction pathways are impaired, lead to widened QRS complexes with distinctive morphologies. Right bundle branch block might show a rabbit ear pattern in lead V1, while left bundle branch block presents with a broad, notched R wave in V6, both vital for accurate diagnosis. Beyond basic interpretation, ECG helps diagnose specific types of myocardial infarction. Pathological Q waves, which are deeper and wider than normal, signify areas of dead heart muscle. T-wave inversions can also point to ischemia or infarction. For arrhythmias, understanding patterns like ventricular tachycardia, characterized by a wide QRS complex and a rapid rate, or complete heart block, where P waves and QRS complexes beat independently, requires deep insight into cardiac electrophysiology. However, ECG has limitations. It's a surface recording and might miss subtle or early-stage diseases. Factors like body build or lung disease can also affect readings. Therefore, ECG is often used with complementary tools like echocardiography, which provides structural images, or stress testing, which monitors the heart during exertion, for a more complete diagnostic picture. From an engineering perspective, the ECG machine is a marvel of signal processing. It amplifies the tiny, millivolt-level electrical signals from the heart, often by thousands of times, and then filters out electrical noise from muscle activity or power lines to produce a clean, interpretable waveform. Modern digital ECGs further enhance this by converting analog signals into digital data, allowing for advanced computer analysis and storage. Understanding concepts like lead impedance and common mode rejection ratio is key to ensuring high-fidelity signal acquisition. The legacy of Einthoven and the continuous evolution of ECG technology has profoundly impacted cardiac diagnostics, enabling early detection, precise localization of issues, and ultimately, saving countless lives by providing a non-invasive window into the Hertz vital electrical rhythm. All right, prepare for the ultimate challenge. Here are your first 5 hardest level questions. Explain Einthoven's contribution. Describe the cellular events giving rise to the T wave. How is the mean electrical axis determined, and what does left axis deviation indicate? Differentiate RBBB and LBBB ECG findings. And what does a pathological Q wave signify? Good luck! Let's continue with the remaining 5 toughest questions. Discuss two limitations of ECG and name two complementary diagnostics. How do amplification and filtering apply to an ECG machine? Which action potential phases are responsible for the P wave and QRS complex? Why is the T wave usually in the same direction as the QRS? And finally, interpret an ECG with a regular rhythm, P waves before every QRS, but a consistently prolonged PR interval of 0.28 seconds. Take your time to formulate comprehensive answers. You've completed an incredible journey through the world of ECG, from its basics to the most complex interpretations. We hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity and equipped you with valuable knowledge for your NEET preparation. Remember, consistent practice and in-depth understanding are key to mastering biology. For more such comprehensive educational content, practice questions, and interactive learning experiences, visit synapse.omaps.in. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for regular updates and more exciting lessons. Keep learning, keep exploring, and keep aiming for your goals. See you in the next session.